I'm just going to quickly run through the navigation interface, which is mainly to do with these buttons down here in the corner. So the first button we have is the zoom button. So when we select it, we have a magnifying glass appear as the cursor. You can see when I hold the left mouse button and drag, we can see that we can zoom in and zoom out. The next button is zoom all. It does the same thing, but it zooms in all 4 viewports. The next button along is the zoom extents, and what this will do is it will select or rather it will zoom to whatever we have as selected objects. So if I zoom back out again and I click this button, what it will do is it will zoom into the grid. If I have objects selected, it will zoom into those objects. So if I have a box here and I click zoom extents, it will show me the box. If I build another one and put it over here, click this again, it will zoom into that. If I hold this button down, you can see that it has 2 functions. It can either zoom selected or zoom all, and I can switch between the zoom extents of all of the objects or switch just the selected object. I can also press Ctrl A to select all and then just click this button. So that's what that does. I'm just going to get rid of my objects and do it again, and you can see that we zoom to the grid. Over here, same thing, except what this one does is it will do all of the viewports. So I click and it will change all 4 viewports. Down here we have a zoom region, which allows me to select a region of the screen and will now zoom into that region. I can zoom out with the mouse wheel just by scrolling the mouse wheel. Then we have the pan view. This allows me to click and drag to move the viewport around. I can do this in any of the viewports. Then we have the object sub-object rotation. So I can rotate either around a selected object, or I can hold the button down and select different components that I want to rotate around. As you can see, there's 3 elements that we can rotate around. We'll cover that in more detail when we talk about object and sub-object selections. And the last button is the maximize toggle, which basically just takes whichever viewport we have selected and fills the viewport with that particular viewport, so that I get 4 viewports, or I can toggle between 4 and 1 viewport.